Okay, I'm gonna briefly talk about this SPX trade. We caught it. Literally was essentially a $3, $4, 4 point move on SPY that resulted in a 70% trade. So these contracts went from 75 to 120. So that was $45. You do the math. That was like I believe I want to say 65%, something like that. Okay, so these are the type of trades you want to catch, or that we want to catch, boys and girls. And essentially, I played long spy calls. I think these cons went to like 125, so I could have made like 70% or something. But yeah, so these contracts essentially, what all we did was we waited for a spy to hold 187. Or wait, no, I'm lying. It was actually like a $6 move. So I got in probably at like, I just realized that. I'm sorry. I got in at 6,000 200, or not 200, 6,188. That's when I got in, and then it moved like $5. But there was a key level that I was waiting for it to touch. This was a really, really good trade. Basically, the reason that these trades work is, well, not the only reason. I'm not trying to spread false information, but I'm going to explain the strategy really quick because I didn't know how to trade like this up until today, really. I knew that people did trade this way. I just didn't really understand how to do it. So if you go to like SPY or what have you, and you go to options, you can actually go to options discover, and you can go to long a call. Now on Robinhood, you don't have to do this, but on Webull you do. So you would just go to like for instance, I think on this trade I went like $10 off of the chain, and I was able to catch a 70% move. And I'm gonna explain why this trade worked the way it did. It's kind of funny. The reason that this trade worked the way it did, honestly, guys, is so think about it like this. So these contracts, this isn't the only reason, but these contracts, right? The contracts on the chain, like let's say the 205s or the 210s or what have you, those are gaining value. So let's say those are at 190, or let's say the 215s are at, I don't know, 190. The contracts that I was in didn't yet hit the chain, but those also have to gain a lot of value as well. So, and you know what's crazy? Like sometimes buying off of like it's very complicated, but sometimes buying well off of the money can make you more profit, if that makes sense. Like today, you can clearly see that I believe the 215s went from like 150 to like 190. So that was only like a 25% gain versus me with a 70% gain. So you can kind of clearly see that there's a big difference in that. And you might ask, like, how does that make any sense? Like, that doesn't make any sense, but it worked. You might say that doesn't make sense. How could buying further off the money make you more? But it actually did. You can clearly see, and this is not cap. I can refresh. This is not paper trading. This is 100% real. And I believe this was only like a 50-cent move on SPY as well. This was literally a 50-cent move, which is kind of crazy because a 50-cent move literally resulted in a 70% or 60, literally a 70% trade. So, yeah. Interesting. These are, again, the type of trades that you want to catch. I was telling myself about this, and I was like, I have to share this with you guys because this is a new strategy. I'm losing my voice a bit, but I should be okay. This is a new strategy, and, this is a game changer. So, if you ever are trading SPY, I'm going to talk about this. I'm about to open up my Discord. Excuse me. But if you guys are ever trading SPY, what I want you to look for is very simple, guys. This is what I need you guys to look for. I want you to look for holds on your levels, because if you find holds on your levels, um, like when I'm trading SPY, you'll see, right? I'm gonna keep taking strategies like this because I see it works. So why would I not trade this strategy? I can use it to make a ton of money. But there's a bigger picture here. You could use this strategy to make money for as long as you really want to, right? There's nothing limiting us from doing these things, right? Like there's nothing really stopping us from doing this. So what you want to really do here is get a good understanding and gauge of, also, let me clarify this. The only time when these trades are the best trades to take, let's say SPY was breaking out off of open. This wouldn't be a good trade to take, right? The only time that this would be a great trade to take is if you see that your level has held. So if you see that your level has held, and you're, trading intraday, like for instance, right, tomorrow. I'm sorry, I had to drink some water. But for instance, tomorrow, right, if you see that your level has held, all you need to look for is a hold, right? And the reason I would say look for your hold is because a lot of the time you can find these crazy opportunities. And then there's a few other things that you can use to strategize, like consolidation. There's a few things that you can use to strategize these trades. But honestly, like sometimes within the first 30 minutes of the market, you can find your level held. And then if you figure out that your level held, you can take this trade. Now, in my case scenario, I waited 30 minutes for this trade. So I'm pretty sure I started watching SPY at like 12 o'clock. And after 30 minutes, right, I was watching it. By the way, full transparency, guys, I did take a previous trade that was not a good trade. Excuse me, I took a previous trade that was not a good trade today, but it's all good because I learned a lot. So for this, if you look at this and we look at the consolidation here, we can clearly see that you can see that I waited for like 30 minutes before pulling the trigger because I had to see my level hold. And once it held, I was able to take my trade. But yeah, guys, ideally tomorrow what I'm looking for is a hold above like 12.10 or 62.10. And I'm looking for like a push, like a $6 push. And basically we're going to try and make some money tomorrow as well. Same strategy, same game plan. The only thing, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to take like an early entry or anything. I think I'm simply going to wait for the hold. And we're going to see if it could hold and if we could see a pop into like 62, like 20. And this is going to be kind of like a long trade. And it should work. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that says like, oh, this might work. Mind you, guys, the goal here is like literally just 50+% trades. And like, keep in mind, this trade only required a $6 move. So $6 on SPX is only 50 cents on SPY, or a 6-point move. So just keep that in mind. And yeah.